in this one though. So just sitting up nice and tall. And then if you can, just take your feet a little bit wider. If you want, you can do butterfly pose. So you can sit up with butterfly pose, or just cross-legged is fine. But do what you can on this one. All right, we are trying to open the hips a little bit more, so we'll get some standing in there, we'll get some balance in as well. And then just try to find a fairly comfortable position. If you need to lean against something, then do. And then just checking in. So you might be in butterfly pose, feet together, knees out to the side, or if you need a little bit more support, then just cross the legs. So knees a little bit wider maybe. And just start to think about how you feel in the posture in the body. Just checking in with how everything's feeling today. Now you might soften the shoulders. Think about the rest of your posture. And when we do open the hips, so especially if you've gone for this butterfly pose, you might find that your back is rounded, which typically happens when we open the hips. So just check in, notice how that feels. And then start to think about a deeper breath. So just in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm just trying to build a breath a little. In through the nose and out through the mouth. So a really good way to kind of calm the nervous system, sort of lowers stress levels. So if you rushed here, sometimes it helps just for those deeper breaths. And then once you feel like you've done a couple of those deeper ones, just switch to in and out through the nose if you can. And as you start taking the deeper breath, just notice how the hips feel. So notice if they start to relax a little, if they feel a little, if you start to feel any tension, just again, notice where you feel that. And then when you're ready, just opening the eyes, keeping that strong breath going if you can. Got a few more people joining, well done. All right, from here, just slide your feet forwards. And then as you do, take your toes further away or your feet further away. I'm just gonna push the heels forwards, just so you start to stretch the outside of the legs. So a little bit of hamstrings, a little bit of calves. And keep pressing forwards and down. So your feet don't necessarily move once you start to press forwards and down. And then squeeze your outer hips towards each other and just take a breath there. Notice how it affects the rest of the posture. Just trying to stretch out down the sides of the legs a little bit more and down the sides of the hips. Take a breath. And then if you can, you're going to start to lean forwards. So just folding forwards into it if you can, to get that deeper stretch. Maybe start to feel that down the outside edges of the legs, hamstrings, calves maybe. Just checking in. You might get that forward fold as well. And then if you can, just press the lower back backwards. So squeeze of the outer hips, press the lower back backwards. Core might kick in a little bit. Lovely, well done. All right, nice and slowly, just coming back up. Excuse me, and then bring your knees back together. All right, coming up onto the hands and knees, tabletop position. Start trying to move a little bit more. So tabletop position, spread the fingers nice and wide, inner elbows face forwards. All right, tucking it under with the toes. Then from there, you're going to try to lift your right knee out to the side and just take it up nice and high. And then you take that foot out and back if you can, but you want to try and keep the outside edge of the foot to the sky if you can. So just turning and opening the hip. Then as you start to get into this one, you might bring your right knee forwards all the way towards the arm and then take it all the way back again. Just try and find a nice flow with this one. You might find the back starts to move a little, arch a little. Do what you can. Well done. If you want the challenge, you might even pick up your left knee completely. So you're just on the back toes and into the arms. And then just take that knee off the ground, basically. Well done. Let's see if we can do a few more. Just want to try to open up and warm those hips a little bit before we get going. Well done. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Taking that knee back. And again, switching it over, left side. So you're going to turn the knee out to the side, take the foot back, maybe straight leg. and then bringing it forwards. Just start to maybe get used to that movement of the back, that openness of the hip on that left side this time. Just stretching out, maybe pressing through the heel towards a straight leg. And then if you want that challenge, you're going to pick up your right knee as you do this one. So lift that right knee and then taking that leg all the way out. Maybe bringing that left knee forwards towards the upper left arm. Well done. Keep that breath going. Well done. Here we go. A few more on this side. Lovely. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bringing the knees back and then just turning the feet over. If you can, just arch the back, lift the chest, just so you stretch out the front of the body. You might be feeling that into the core a little. Lovely. And then tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Well done. Stretching out. You might take the feet a little bit wider, toes turning out. Lovely. And then squeeze the outer hips towards each other so you can get the lower back to press to the sky. Take a breath here. Just noticing when you need to stretch out, maybe warm it up a little bit more. Lovely, well done. We're going to come through for our sun salutations next, so hopefully feel like you've warmed up into those hips a little bit. All right, when you're ready, looking forwards, step the feet towards the front and keeping the feet a little bit wider. Nice halfway lift, look forwards, lift the chest, lift the chin, and then exhale, folding down. Maybe soft into the knees, little lean into the toes, and just start to lift those sit bones up a little. Press the lower back to the sky and squeeze the outer hips towards each other again. Just firing up. Take a breath. Lovely. From here, rolling up nice and slowly, you might round the back, tuck the tailbone, coming all the way up to standing when you're ready. Lovely. All right, let's go in with our sun salutation. So as we're doing hips today, if you want to go a little bit wider with your feet, especially when we do our hands up and then forward fold as well. Sometimes we're very much feet together traditionally, but if you want to go a little bit wider for these today, you can do. You might even have your toes turned out slightly, and we'll try and lean back into the toes and back into the heels where we need to. When you're ready, nice big inhale, reach up, lift up, maybe pressing back into the heels, use the glutes a little bit more. And then exhale, soften, fold, and start to sink into the toes, straighten the legs. Inhale, nice halfway lift, lift the chest, little bend in the knees if you need to. And then exhale, plant the hands, feet back to plank. Nice strong plank, shift the chest forwards, heart forwards, and lower to the ground. Taking the feet wide, coming to your upward facing dog, your version. Think about trying to send those ribs forwards, heart forwards, shoulders down the back. Lovely, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Well done. Just taking the feet a little bit wider for this first down dog, or second down dog rather. Taking the hips nice and high, think about that stretch through the lower back. Stretch through the back of the legs as well, and then checking in with those hips. Nice steady breath. Well done. Think about the front of the body firing up as well, so pull the belly to the back of the spine, lengthen through those arms. Lovely. 3, 4, and 5. Look forwards, step the feet forwards, maybe wider. Halfway lift, lift the chest. Exhale, folding down, drop the head, leaning forwards into those toes. And when you're ready, press into the feet, lifting up. As you do, press back into the heels, lift the chest, and exhale back to standing. All right, let's go again. Inhale, reach up, lift up. Exhale, soften, fold towards the floor, drop the head. Little lean into the toes, lift of those sit bones. Inhale, nice halfway lift, lift the chest. Exhale, hands down, feet back. Shift forwards, elbows in, lead with the chest all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Think about those shoulders rolling down the back, heart forwards looking up. And exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Well done. Maybe take those feet wide again. Lovely, getting into those hips. Strong in the arms, the hands. Good. 1. Nice steady breath. Stretch through those arms. Stretch down the sides of the body. 2. Pressing down into the hands. Use the whole of the hands if you can. 3, think about stretching through the legs. You might be able to straighten the legs, pick up through the kneecaps as well. Good. 4, squeeze the outer hips. And 5, lovely, look forwards, step the feet forwards, maybe wider. Little lift of the chest, look forwards. And exhale, folding down, drop the head, straighten the legs a little. When you're ready, press into the feet, reach up, lift up, press back into those heels. You lift the chin and exhale back to standing. All right, one more. Inhale, reach up, lift up, looking up. Exhale, soften, fall towards the floor, drop the head. Lean into the toes, maybe lift the sit bones, squeeze the outer hips. Good, inhale, halfway left, chest forward, heart forward. Exhale, hands down, feet back. Nice strong plank. Shift forwards, lead with the heart, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Shoulders roll down the back, chest forwards, looking up to the sky. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Well done. Let's see if we get those feet a little bit wider again, getting into those hips. Let's start to press that lower back to the sky. Then shift the hips back. Maybe feel the arms lift as well. And then as you shift those hips back, heels want to press back as well. See if you can fire up the front of the thighs, lift them up, pick them up, and then press them back. Well done. And then let's get that squeeze of the outer hips again. So squeeze, get that little inner lift, get inner thighs. Lovely. 3 here. 3. Keep trying to shift that weight up and back if you can. 4. And 5. Lovely. Look forwards. Feet towards the front. Nice halfway left. Chest forward, heart forwards. Exhale, folding down. Straight the legs, lean into the toes. And when you're ready, press into the feet. Reach up, lift up. Pressing back into those heels as you lift. And exhale all the way back into standing. Lovely. All right, we're going to go move a little bit more, a little bit like a Saturday one. We'll try and get a bit more of a flow. I'm going to do our sun salutation B. When you're ready, you're going to bend the knees, sink nice and low. Press back into the heels if you can. And you might even have your feet still wide here. Maybe lift the chest, look up to the sky. Shoulders back a little, hands back. Take a breath. And exhale, fall to the floor. As you take the hands down, start to lift those hips. See if you can get that deeper stretch of the back of the legs. Well done. And press the feet into the ground as you press the lower back to the sky to get that resistance, that pushing down, pulling up. Squeeze the outer hips. Nice. Inhale, halfway left, chest forward, heart forwards. Exhale, hands down, feet all the way back. Well then, I'm going to try a nice wide plank. So you can take your feet a little bit wider, maybe off the edges of the mat. And then just press back into the heels. You might want to go inner heels. So you're going for a wide leg plank here. Well done. If you feel like you're into the base of the wrist, just try and grip with the fingers a little bit more. So use the front of the hands a little bit more. Lovely. You might start to lower the hips as you look forward slightly. Good, then shift forwards. Well done. You can bring your feet back in if you need to, or you might lower to the ground from here. Well done. Keep the feet wide, turn the feet over, and then inhale for your upward facing dog. You can mix it up now if you want to. Go a little deeper, a little different, and then tuck the toes down dog. Again, you might still have those feet wide. Just for today, we're just doing it to get into those hips a little bit more. So feet as wide as the mat in your down dog. Lovely. Take a breath. Excellent. All right, when you're ready, you're going to bring your feet together and then sending that left foot up to the sky. We want to try and open the hips today. So as you do, try and turn the outside edge of your left foot to the sky. Maybe starting to press your chest through to the left or turn the chest to the left. And then take that left foot a little bit higher. Maybe flex through the foot. So you're really pressing through the heel. Get a good stretch out. And try to take the heel high. So you're trying to work into that outer hip. I feel a little tough to do this one. Then try to get a little tuck of the tailbone. So just gives you that resistance. Well done. Take a breath here. Lovely. From here, you're going to bring your left knee forwards and try to step it underneath your left hand. So you're going to try and take your left foot forwards, and as you do, release your left hand. Well done. So we've gone nice and wide with that left foot, basically. Start to press into the left foot to come up for a warrior one. It's going to feel like a very odd warrior one. Your right foot's down the center of the mat at the back, and then your left foot is right on the outer edge of the left foot. See if you can go for a bit of a warrior one here. It can feel a little tough, so bend the back knee if that feels a bit weird, or straighten it to see how it feels. Well done. What might help is if you drop your right heel in slightly. We will open out for warrior two. So just check in. It's trying to get a deeper stretch of this right hip flexor. Look up to the sky for your warrior one. Well done. From here, you're going to send your left hand forwards, right hand back, and then you're going to drop that right heel down. So we've gone into it a little more balanced now. Into that warrior two, but that left foot is still out a little bit further. Well done. Open the arms nice and wide. Good. Well done. All right, from here, we're going to lean forwards and see if we can come down to the floor. So that space we've created, you might be able to get your left hand down towards the floor. Keep your right hand up to the sky, and let's see if you can start to straighten. Go into a triangle pose. Straightening the leg maybe. Do what you can on this one. Yeah, well done, looking up to the sky. Lovely. So just going a little bit wider with the left foot. If you don't want it to get the hand down, use a block, or you can just take the hand on top of the left shin and then come up a little bit higher. Yeah, nice. Well done. Now tuck under with the tailbone. So it might feel a little bit easier to do because we've got that foot out a little bit wider. Well done. Really tuck under. Now start to look up and send your right shoulder back. Good. Press down into the right heel. So back right heel presses down. Lovely. Tuck under a little bit more. Well done. See if you can squeeze your outer hips towards each other now. See if you get that extra stretch. Well done. You might even feel it down the sides a little bit more. It's quite a tricky one to do. Take a breath. Lovely, well done. Release your right hand down. Push into your front knee so you get more into a lunge. And then either keep the left hand down or drop your elbow to the left thigh. Side angle pose. Taking that top arm up and over. Again, we're still wide with that left foot. I might allow you to sink a little bit lower into the hips. So see how it feels. Or you might use it, you might come up a little bit higher and then really tuck under with the tailbone. Think about sending your right shoulder back, maybe looking up to the sky. Yeah, nice. Press down into the outer right heel. Lovely, well done. I'm going to try and get another little squeeze here, a slightly different engagement. It's going to feel like you're trying to pull your feet towards each other. So I'm really going to fire up those inner thighs. Give it a go. It's quite a tricky one to do again. Feel that engagement. Squeeze the feet towards each other. Yeah, well done. Looking up. Take that breath. Nice, well done. When you're ready, coming all the way back up with that very wide warrior two. Sinking low. Yeah, it's hard for balance as well. Good work. Well done. Maybe turn the palms to the sky. Open the chest so you can get that lift. Good. Sink a little bit lower. Nice. Well done. From here, you might lift your left hand up. We'll go for reverse warrior. Keep nice and low. So you still want that left knee forwards. Keep that lunge low. Quite a challenge for your front leg. Good for balance. Nice. Lifting up that left arm. Well done. You might find you're not leaning back as much. Don't worry, you don't necessarily need to. And again, squeeze the feet towards each other. So inner thighs kick in. Lovely. Take a breath. Nice, well done. When you're ready, you're going to release that left hand forwards. You'll have to bring it to the inside of the foot. Right hand goes down as well. Pivot on the back toe, so you've got back heel lifted, and take that left foot all the way back. Well done. Shift forwards, lower down. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the chest, lift the heart, and into that up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. All right, checking in with your hips, legs, hamstrings, inner thighs. See how it feels. You might feel a little outer kilter. We're going to try and balance it out. Take a breath here, stretch through the back. Lovely. When you're ready, taking those feet together, we're going to do right side. So we want to try and get the right foot up to the sky, but then we're going to open it out. So turning your right outer edge of the foot to the sky. Maybe turn the chest to the right as well. Maybe straighten through the leg, take it as high as it will go. Lovely, flex through the heel, press into the hands. Lovely, take a breath. Good work. When you're ready, you're going to bring that right knee forwards and step it forwards as if you're trying to take it underneath your right hand. So lift your right hand at the same time. Keep that right foot wide, and then when you're ready, press into the right foot and see if you can come up for your warrior one, or very wobbly warrior one. See how it feels. All right, sinking into that back knee a little if you want to take the pressure off the left hip flexor. Otherwise, try to straighten the leg. Well done, taking the hands up. So just exploring a slightly different versions of our usual postures just by simply taking that leg a little bit wider. So it might feel tougher for that back leg, that hip top of the thigh, hip flexor on that left side, as we've gone wider with that right leg. Maybe looking up to the sky, get that deeper stretch, take a breath. Lovely, we're going to open out for warrior two. So keep the front foot where it is. You're going to start to drop that left heel down as you pivot the hips out and then dropping down. You might have palms facing up or down, up to you, into that wide warrior two. Little tuck of the tailbone. Soften the shoulders. Checking in with the legs, the knees, the feet, the hips. Lovely, well done. You're going to reach forwards and take your right hand towards the floor. As you do, you might start to straighten the leg. Triangle pose. Again, fairly wide one. Maybe looking up to the sky or the top hand. Think about pressing down into the outer back heel and then trying to tuck under with the tailbone. So sometimes when we go wider with the feet, it just allows us to tuck under a little bit more. Get more of that core engagement. Check in, see how it feels. Maybe straight front leg, if you can. Well done. Now we'll try our squeeze. So you're going to squeeze your feet towards each other. We had a little go in our side lunge. It's quite a tricky one to do in this one, but have a go. Nice, well done. Now try to squeeze the outer hips towards each other. So a little harder to do, but give it a go. Nice, well done. Release the top hand. Pushing into the front knee and either keep the right hand to the floor or you can take the right elbow onto your right thigh. Get that tuck of the tailbone again. So it's almost like the tailbone's trying to drive down to that left heel. Top arm up and over to go further. And you might sink a little lower with the hips, or you might just try and get that nice stretch down the side of the body. Well done. Again, squeeze the feet towards each other so you can feel that inner lift. Hold that there, take a breath. Good, well done. Exhale, release that engagement. And now see if you can squeeze the outer hips. Notice the different stretch. Notice how you feel it. Try and take that left shoulder back further, looking up to the sky. Lovely, well done. When you're ready, push into the knee, coming all the way back up for your warrior two. Sinking low, maybe tuck the tailbone again, and then palms to the sky. Nice, send the hands back, get that stretch of the chest, squeeze of those shoulder blades, take a breath, palms facing up. Lovely, well done. Bring the hands back to center, and then going up for your reverse warriors. You're reaching up, lifting up. Well done. You might lunge into that right leg a little bit more. Keep that tuck of the tailbone. Take a breath. Lovely, well done. When you're ready, you reach that right hand forwards. Left hand comes forwards as well. Pivot on the back toes. Take the hand down to the inside of the foot. So right hand to the inside and then right leg all the way back. Lovely. Shift forwards and down. Feet nice and wide. Tops of the feet pressed down. Knees lift. Your upward facing dog. Good. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Get that stretch out, that lower back press into the sky. Just notice what you feel where you feel it. Well done. So just try to change our usual postures a little more. Sometimes you can feel it a lot. Sometimes it's just a little. but just notice what you feel. If we're trying to stretch out that lower back, you might squeeze your outer hips towards each other. Get those inner thighs kicking in. Front of the body firing up as well. Take a breath. Lovely, well done. All right, from here, bring your feet together again, and then taking that left foot forwards. Again, if you can, try and take it so it goes underneath the left hand or as close to the left hand as you can. And then you can drop your right knee down towards the floor. All right, don't have to drop the back knee out. If you want to keep it lifted, you can do. And then walk your left foot out a little bit more so it goes maybe to the edge of the mat. Have your fingertips down on the ground, or you can grab some blocks and get blocks under your hands. And then we will try to go a little bit lower. So you might start to sink the hip down. If you've got that knee lifted, it might just look a little bit like that. Or you might have that knee down, but just see if you can feel that right hip flexor sinking. We've got the left knee turned out and the left toes turned out as well. So a little bit more of a 45-degree angle on that left side. Take a breath here. Well done. If you lean forward, you're more likely to get the hands down flat. And then if you have got the hands flat, you can try to pick up the back knee if it's not already. Keep the hips nice and low. Well done. And you're going to try to shift the weight. So you can try to shift the weight into the left foot. And as you shift the weight into the left foot, feel some resistance by pressing your left foot into the ground. Just trying to fire up that left hip. Well done. Hold that there. Lovely. For 5, 4. So weight shifting over, then press the foot down as well. 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Well done. Dropping that right knee down again. And then nice and slowly, we're going to switch over. So to switch over, we're going to lift the back knee. So if you don't want to lift the back knee, just take your left knee back. So you're in that plank position with knees down. Otherwise, you can lift your back knee, press into the upper back so you get nice and high, so you get a really high plank, and then try to take that left foot back as well. Well done. Shift forward, slow it down. Good, feet wide. Tops of the feet down, knees lift. And then into your upward facing dog. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. Squeezing some core work in here as well. Lifting up, get that stretch out in your down dog. Again, you might squeeze the outer hips towards each other. So you feel that lower back press to the sky. Lovely. All right, feet go together. This time, right foot reaches forwards, but again, trying to go as close to that right hand as you can, or you might even pick up your right hand. Drop the back knee down. Then you might take your hands forwards, or you might walk that right foot out a little bit wider. Toes turning out, knees turning out the same direction. Then take a breath here, just sink that left hip flexor down as you can. So got a little bit more open in that right hip. Take a breath here. Well done. Remember, you can keep the back knee lifted if you want to. Lovely. All right, let's try to pick up that back knee if it's not already. You might press back into that back heel and then sink in the hips a little bit lower. So you're always going to feel like you can't go too low because the back knee's lifted. And then just to try and shift some weight into that foot, lean the weight over to your right foot and at the same time press the right foot into the ground. So it's a good strong plank, right foot forwards, but also we want to try and get as much weight into that foot as we can, take some of the pressure off the hands. Hold that there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Remember, you can drop the back knee if you want to. If not, push into the upper back, go nice and rounded with the back, and then take your right foot back. Lovely. Look forwards, lean forwards, lower to the floor. Good work. Feet wide. Inhale, upward facing dog. Send that chest forward, heart forwards, looking up. Lovely. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll give the wrists a little bit of a break now. Well done. And then drop the knees down, keep the knees wide, toes maybe touching, and sink into your version of child's pose. So you might sink all the way back and down into your heels. You might just be leaning slightly forward, use your elbows more, or you might get the forehead onto the ground. Well done, just see how it feels. Well done, hopefully you feel like you've been working hard. So just those slight little tweaks and adjustments. Sometimes when we get so used to doing certain postures, they can feel very similar each time we do them, but just trying to mix it up a little bit today. All right, hopefully got a little bit more of a steadier breath. I'm going to try to get a little bit of a balance in next, and then we'll do some seated work. All right, from here, just coming back up onto those hands, so tabletop position is fine. Tucking the toes under and lifting up for your down dog. Well done. And then slowly going to walk the feet in nice and close. But as you do, get the feet in almost like you're doing a forward fold, so you can take the pressure off your hands, your wrists. But take the feet wide again and have the toes turned out slightly. Then you might lean forward so you can get onto the fingertips, or even hands down or hands on blocks. Bend the knees as much as you need. Well done. And then we'll try to get a little bit like our standing, our standing splits. But we'll try, and a bit of a warrior three, a little bit of both going on. But we're going to try wide, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So you've got your feet hip width apart, you might have your feet behind the hands are shoulder width apart. You're going to lean your way over to the right and see if you can take your left foot back. But as you take your left foot back, you're going to turn the outside edge of your left foot to the sky. So it'll feel like warrior three, that back leg out and away. You're sort of starting to feel like standing splits because you've got the hands down on the ground, but we're going to open that hip on the left side. This one's actually leading to a posture called half moon, so a little more challenging. And then to go a little bit further, reach your right hand further forwards. And then if you want to open out the hip a little bit more on that left side, still bending into that right knee. And then if you want to go further, you might start to look underneath your left armpit. Well done. To go further, you might reach your left hand to the sky. Let's check in and see how it feels. It might feel quite wobbly at the moment. I'm not moving my left hand right now. I don't feel balanced enough. But just want you to feel this on that right side. So quite a lot of weight into the right foot. You can start to straighten the right leg if you want to. You might start to lift the left foot a little bit higher, but keep the outside of the edge of the foot going upwards. That open hip on that left side. Well done. Take a breath here. Good work. Nice and slowly release that left leg down. Again, take the feet so they're hip width apart. Just settle into that forward fold. Get a little lift to the chest if you need it. Deeper breath. All right, we're going to try left side down, right foot lifting. So again, you shift the weight over to the left foot, start to feel a little bit lighter into the right foot, and then start to lift the right foot up behind you. Well done. Move the hands further forwards if that helps you. You might shift that weight further forwards into the left toes a little bit more. And now start to try to open the hips to the right. So you're taking the outside edge of that right foot to the sky. Yeah, it feels a little bit like a warrior three, but then we're working towards this half moon. Well done. Maybe straighten the left leg, maybe going higher with the right foot. And then you can start to maybe look up slightly or underneath your right armpit. But we've got some hands reaching to the sky. Good work. Well done. If you've got a wall behind you, like I can place my right heel into the wall, it's a good way to start to open the hips and then start to send that top hand up. Good work. Well done. Take a breath here. Nice. Well done. When you're ready, release that right foot down. Take your time. Let's do a little halfway lift. So just lift the chest, look forwards. Exhale, folding down. Good work. Well done. Take the hands to the floor, bend the knees as much as you need. Step the feet all the way back. Lovely. Shift forwards and down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Melt the chest forward, heart forwards, looking up. And exhale. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Good work. Get that nice stretch out, upper back pressing to the sky, squeeze of the outer hips. Lovely, well done. And then nice and slowly coming through to seated. Woo! Good work, well done. Sneak some core work in there as well in that one. All good. All right, feet together, take your knees out. Let's see how those butterfly poses feel. So we did this one right at the start. Let's check in and see how it feels. So we're doing quite a lot to find some strength and mobility in there. So see how it's feeling. You might have feet together, toes turned away. And then you might just let the knees drop down slightly or allow the hips to open. And then if you want to go further, you can start to lean forwards as well, but just checking in, see how that feels. Knees, in particular hips, leaning forwards, maybe going into a fold. Maybe notice if you've got one knee higher than the other as well. Sometimes you can feel it. It might just feel like it's really tight on one side. But try to notice where it feels tight. Sometimes it's like the outside of the thighs, so maybe a little bit more of the outer edges of the hamstrings. Maybe it's outer hips or inner hips, the groin area. Well done, just pressing that lower back backwards. Getting that deeper stretch. Just letting that breath slow a little as well. Lovely, one more breath. Good work. All right, coming up nice and slowly. I'm going to try that second one again that we did at the beginning, so a bit more of a diamond shape. So you want to try and get the outside edges of the feet down. That's our theme for today. We've done that a lot. But outside edges of the feet down, feet open, and then just the back of the heels together, and then sort of press your feet forwards and down. So they're not necessarily moving anywhere, but you might just start to feel some engagement. Then you can squeeze the outer hips towards each other as well. And so you get that squeeze. And then if you want to go further, release the hips, but keep the engagement in the legs, and then try to go forwards for that deeper stretch. And again, might be a slightly different stretch to what you felt at the beginning. You might be flexing your toes or pushing the heels forwards and down. Keep that engagement. And then the deeper you fold into it, the more you might feel that stretch. Well done. 3 more. Well done. Lovely. Last one. So well done. Looking forwards. Exhale, release. Woo. Good work. All right, have a little shake out. Okay, next one we're going to try is our new one we've been trying in our core drills in the morning. So the idea of this is you might lean back, tap one heel to your opposite thigh, take it forwards, and then switch over to do the other side. So if you're leaning back, you secretly get a little bit of core work going on in there. But if you try to sit up straight, it's just hip flexors, and you're aiming to go as high as you can. So you're trying to eventually get your knee nice and high towards the top of your hip crease. This is a really good one to practice on if you're trying to do lotus in your inversions. So for example, Tuesday night in Ashtanga, we tried to work through a shoulder stand sequence, and you work towards lotus when your legs are up in the air. So this is a really good one to practice for that. But just trying to warm those hips up a little bit more now. So just check in and see how they're going. Well done. You might be sitting up tall, or you might be leaning backwards. I'm sorry if you joined core this morning. We've done this twice today, but all good. Here we go. Let's do a couple more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Coming back to center and then shake it out. All right, we're going to try something slightly different with our hip ones today. So if you come onto your side, you're going to drop down onto your elbow, and you want to get onto the outside edge of the hip. You do right side first if you want to, or left side, up to you. Always find we go for our easier side, so if you want to mix it up, you can do. Well done. And then you can keep your left foot further back, and I'm kind of on my toes just to give me a little bit more stability. And hips are trying to face out. So I'm on my right side, the hips are trying to face out to the right. But you want to be on the outside edge of that bottom foot if you can. And then your aim is you're going to try to lift your foot up and hold it. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you're actually going to step your left foot over the front of your bottom thigh, and then you're going to try to lift. It's a little bit more work for the hips. So you might find it's easier with that foot behind you, and then you're trying to lift that foot up. We're going to lift it and hold it, but if you want to try to lift it a few times, just to check in and see how it feels, you can do. And then if you want to explore and take that back foot forwards as well, you can do. Yeah, good. I think we're all there. When you're ready, you're going to lift it up and squeeze and hold. So this is the tricky bit. So kind of flex through the foot, lift it up, hold it. If it's easier to point through the toes, point through the toes. So if hamstrings are feeling it, point. All right, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release. Woo, you can release that left leg. All right, we're going to try to go a little bit further if you can. So if you take your left foot back, if it's not there already, and then lift it up and go a little bit higher if you can. So secret core work in here again. You might lean that left hip back or top hip back slightly and hold it as high as you can. So hopefully going higher than you did. Yeah, well done. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, feeling the burn, 2, and 1. Well done. Release it down. Whew, good work. All right, from here, you're going to stack your hips now on top of each other. You can bend the bottom knees for this one if you want to. You'll have a little bit more stability if you do, so you want to bend that bottom knee quite a lot. Straighten out your top leg and you're going to take it up as high as you can on this one, but really try and keep the hips stacked. So the last one we had the hips rolling back. This one you want to keep the hips stacked as much as possible. Point through the toes or flex the foot. Getting a bit of glute work here as well. I'm going to hold that there for 5, 4, straight leg, 3, go high as you can, 2, and 1. Lovely, well done. Oof. All right, I'm going to try one more here on this side. This is a good hip opener. So for this, if you bend your knees again, you're going to lean the hips back, almost like you're rolling back onto your top hip a little. Then bring your knee up. So you want to try and get your left knee towards, or top knee towards your top shoulder. Yeah, this is the push back on one. And you're going to grab hold of your toe, 2 fingers around your big toe, and then you try to stretch your leg up to the sky. Got a little bit of a stretch. This is easy because we've dropped our hip back. So if you want to make it harder, you're going to try to lean your hips forwards a little bit more. Then you might press down into your bottom foot and see if you can lift your bottom hip as well. Feel the burn. Yeah, good work. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, good work. Well done. Excellent. Well done. We're going to switch over and do all that on the other side. All right, switching over to your other side when you're ready. Well done. All right, so we got the bottom leg out straight. You want the outer edge of the bottom foot down on the ground, and then you lean back slightly with this back foot. You can keep it there, or you can bring it forwards to make it harder. Just checking that you can lift that bottom foot off the ground. Try it a couple of times, see what starts to kick in, which muscles engage, and see how it feels. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift it up and hold it as high as you can. So it might not go too far if you've got that front foot forwards. Hold it there for 5, 4, might be flexing the foot or pointing through the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Whew. Release it down. Take that back foot backwards slightly if you can, and now try to go as high as you can. So a little bit of core engagement. Lift it up nice and high. Yeah, good work. Well done. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, good work. Well done. All right, from here, you're going to bend the knees. You can stack the hips, adjust yourself as much as you need. Yeah, well done. All right, and then top leg out, straight out. And again, lift it up nice and high. As we're going into this one, you're trying to keep the hips stacked over one another. You should be able to go a lot higher with the foot now that they're stacked. You can always have the bottom leg straight as well, but if you bend the knee, you're going to have a little more stability. A little bit like our half moon posture that we tried before in our balance. Good, hold it there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Release, relax. All right, let's try our push back on one. So you're going to bring your right knee or top knee in towards your top shoulder. You might try and grab hold of your toe and then lift the leg up to the sky. We've got the top hip roll backwards, so it makes it a little bit easier. As soon as you stack the hips, this gets a lot harder. Then you're going to press into your bottom hip, so you can get a little bit of a lift by pressing into your elbow as well. If not, just stay where you are, and you're going to hold it here for 5. Good. 4. Well done. 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Good work. Well done. Release. Breathe. All across the feet and vinyasa. Well done, everyone. Woo. All right. Went for a slightly different hip opener one tonight. You can do a lot of running and things like that. Good to get those out. Hips nice and strong. Yeah. Well done. Get that nice stretch out in your vinyasa. And we're going to try to come through. We're going to have a go at doing our bridge posture and get some hip openers in there as well. Well done. Get that nice stretch out in your down dog, stretching through the back. Lovely. Well done. All right. So from here, we're going to come down onto our back. So you can come into your bridge position. You have the feet a little bit wider, toes turned out, and then tucking under with the tailbone to go up. You can take the hands over the top of the head to go a little bit further with this one, or you might just have the hands down by the hips. But the hands over the head will just lift the chest slightly. We do this in some of our core drills in the morning just to make it a little more challenging. But really try to press into the feet and squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the outer hips as well. Adjust your feet as you need to help with your knees, your ankles. And then squeeze those glutes as much as you can. Tucking under with the tailbone. Well done. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go a little bit higher if you can. And again, squeeze the glutes. So as you go higher, you might have to engage the glutes slightly differently. Hold it there for 5. Well done. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. We're going to go up a little bit higher. Squeeze the glutes again. Press the feet down. So the feet going down as the glutes squeeze. Hips are high. Hold that there for 5, 4, 3. Keep pressing those feet down. 2. Trying to create some resistance. And 1. Well done. Release all the way down. Take a breath. Lovely. Well done. All right, from here, bring your feet in a little bit closer. You can have the feet together. Then send your right ankle over the top of your left thigh and then pick up your left foot off the ground. You can do thread the hands through and grab the back of the left thigh. And then as you do, you might press your right knee or right thigh away from you. Sometimes you can do this with your right elbow. And then just trying to get that nice outer hip stretch. This should feel quite nice after those other ones. Keep both feet flexed if you can. Keep that left leg pulling in towards you. That right knee working away. So you get that stretch. Two more. Last one. Well done. Nice and slowly release your left foot. Then the right foot, and then switching over. So left ankle comes across the top of the right thigh, bring your right thigh up. You might grab the back of the right thigh, press that left thigh away, flex the feet as much as you can so you get that deeper stretch. Feel that strength. Well done. Nice deep breaths. Good work. Maybe some slower breaths. 3 more. Lovely. Last one. Good work. Well done. Release nice and slowly. Again, stretch the feet all the way out and away from you, or maybe the arms up and over. Well done. And then we're going to have a little go at doing happy baby pose. So bring the knees back in. Take the knees nice and wide, and then you might grab your toes or your feet. And then you can always feel a little bit of engagement in this one. Sometimes you want to take the knees really wide, and it's almost like you're trying to work your knees towards the floor. So they come to the outside of the body, and you're trying to press the knees towards the floor to open the hips. But at the same time, so you might be doing that by pulling your hands down. At the same time, push your feet to the sky a little. You might flex the feet as well. You can use your elbows to the inside of the calves or the shins to push the knees wider. Really get into those hips. Well done. Check in your ankles are nice and straight as well. And take a breath here. Lovely, well done. All right, feel free to stay here a little bit longer if you want to. If not, you might come through for a inversion, so you can have a go at doing feet up the wall, maybe get something under your lower back. Maybe you want to use the wall and go a little bit wider, or you might even want to try a headstand or a different inversion, or even shoulder stand. And if you want to try your half lotus or your lotus work like we did when we were seated, so you take your feet wide and you're trying to tap your heel to the opposite thigh and then switch over, do the other side. It's totally different when you do this upside down. So even if you're trying this in feet up the wall, we did have a go at this on Saturday as well, but it's a really good one for just giving you that greater awareness when you're upside down. Obviously use a wall if you need to. Or you might be practicing your own inversions, maybe straight legs with your headstand. Or you might be working on your shoulder stand, and you might even try butterfly pose. It's a good one to do in shoulder stand or even headstand. Or you might be opening the hips the other way. Well done. If you are trying that little exercise with the half lotus one, really think about, especially if you're in shoulder stand, think about trying to get the first knee towards the shoulder. And that should allow you to get the heel closer to the top of the thigh. And once you get that first bit in position, it then makes it a little bit easier to do the other side. But yeah, we're looking really good. If you're trying this in something higher, like headstand or shoulder stand, you do notice how much you end up having to use your pelvis, or your back might arch, that lower back might arch because you're trying to open the hips. And we're not always aware of this when we do these sort of seated hip openers. You don't notice it or feel it so much, but as soon as you go upside down, it feels totally different. Yeah, well done. We've got some really nice ones going on. Good. Try flexing the feet as well when you're in it. Just notice if that gives you more control with the knees. So when you're upside down, you just flexing the feet. Just notice if that gives you more control of the knees, the ankles, but also the hips as well. Might help you to maintain that core strength as well, so you don't have as much movement with the pelvis. So you really need that core strength, especially when you're doing this with your headstand. Good work. Well done. So feel free to do a couple more breaths, another 5 maybe, but if you feel like you've had enough and you need a little breather, then just come down when you're ready. Like, come down nice and slowly, take your time. Good work. Well done, everyone. All right, now we're pretty much working our way towards Shavasana. So if you are still in your inversion, doing those extra couple of breaths and start to make your way down. Think about coming down nice and slowly. And then if you do want to go through a vinyasa to stretch out, feel free. I know some people like to get a vinyasa in, a down dog after their inversions in particular. And then I'm going to try a Shavasana, but with a little bit of a hip opener. Nice, got some good up dogs going on, good down dogs. Well done. All right, so I'll give you some options for your Shavasana. If you've got like a spare mat, or you can even roll your own mat up. I've got a second mat here. I'm just going to place it underneath the knees. Bolsters are really good for this if you've got a bolster, or just like a rolled up towel. Then have your feet together and then let the knees drop out to the side. So then you're just supported a little bit. You still want to feel like your lower back is on the ground, and you can try your Shavasana there. Or if you've not got the mat or towel or cushions, then you can use block. But again, it's a little bit like the diamond shape that we've tried to do a few times. So it doesn't need to be butterfly pose, you don't need to go that wide, but diamond pose. And then just support the thighs a little bit and the knees maybe. And you can go you don't need to go as wide as you can. You almost want to come in a little bit closer if you can. But just check in that that lower back is down, and then do this usual with your arms, palms facing up, chin tucked, closing the eyes. And then just taking that deeper breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, like we started with. And then just start to let go of the breath. Just allowing it to return to a natural rhythm. Just allowing your body to relax, to feel heavy, to soften. As you relax your feet, your ankles, your calves. Relaxing your knees, your thighs. Feeling your hips soften, sink down. So you relax your lower back, mid back, upper back. Allow the back of the shoulders, back of the head to soften, sink down. So you relax your face, your cheeks, your jaw, your tongue. Visualizing the eyes running back and down. As you let go of the breath, let go of the body, and let go of the mind. see. Just maybe starting to bring a little awareness back to the breath and the body. Deeper breath in, big sigh out. Yeah, maybe feeling a little movement, fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Yeah, maybe enjoying a little stretch up and over. Stretch at the front of the body, all the way down to the toes. Yeah, maybe enjoying a little hug in or a little rock from side to side. Just easing out the lower back, mid back. Nice and slowly, just moving over to one side. And making your way back up to seated in your own time. Well done, everyone. Just taking my hands to heart center. You might close the eyes, soften the shoulders. And just take a moment to check in and notice how you feel in the body and the mind. Well done, everybody. Namaste. Good luck. Thank you very much. Well done. Thanks for joining tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. Strengthening one as well. Well done. Any questions, give me a shout. If not, I might see you for core tomorrow. I've got an extra class this week. It's going to be tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning, if anybody fancies that. A little bit similar to our Wednesday class, so if you fancy joining, feel free. And I shall see you soon. Thank you very much. See you later.
Thanks, Emma.
No
Bye.
worries. Well done. Bye.